If you'd love to know how you can eat out, socialize, and spend time with friends and still lose body fat, then this video is for you. So quite often, social occasions are the reason why people sack off their fat loss journey. They have one weekend that's slightly off plan and they end up chucking it all in. I'm going to talk you through today what I teach my clients, and it's a big part of a reason why they're able to enjoy their social lives and still get such amazing results. I'm going to run through the two main strategies that I use with my clients that help them navigate around these social occasions and continue to achieve great fat loss. So let's get into the video. So just before we do, if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please drop me a subscribe, head over to Instagram, follow me on Instagram if you're not already doing so. And if you'd like some additional support from me, I have a 7-day free fat loss course, which you can download. The link for that course is in the description of this video. All right, let's get into it. So the first strategy we're going to run through is something called calorie banking. Now, it's really important to understand this strategy is to be used for events that we know we've got coming up. So I'm going to give you an example here. Let's say we know we're going out to the pub on Saturday night. Let's say it's a Monday. We know we're going out on the Saturday night to the pub because it's someone in the family's birthday, for example. Okay, so it gives us an opportunity to plan for this occasion. That's really important. I'm going to talk you through another strategy later on in this video, which is one that is ideal for events that crop up and you don't have time to plan for them. Okay, so the first one is calorie banking. So we've got time to save calories through the week. We've got time to get organized and prepare for our evening out. So the first thing we need to do before we can do any of this is we need to know how many calories we need to consume. And if you haven't already worked that out, I've got another video which you can head over to now and work that out and then come back to this video. But let's say you've already done that. You can pause this video, come off this video, go and work out what you need to work out, and then come back to this video. So we've got our calories times by 7 days. So we've got an example on the screen here. Say we've worked out that we need to consume 1,600 calories per day to be in a deficit to make sure we're losing body fat. So we're going to times that by 7 to give us our weekly allowance. So that gives us 11,200 calories. We know we need to consume 11,200 or under in our week to make sure we're in a deficit. This becomes our weekly budget. So now we've got that number, we know what we're working with. We then need to estimate how many calories we think we're going to have on our night out. Now, this is an estimate, okay? Some places will have menus, some places won't. So we need to have a rough guide of what we think we're going to be having. So research the menus if they're available, know what your favorite drinks are. So, you know, if you like gin and tonics or if you like a Prosecco, whatever it is, work out how many of them you're going to have and give yourself a rough ballpark figure as what you're going to go over that day. Okay, so if your calories are 1,600 and you think you're going to go over 1,000, you are estimating you're going to do about 2,600 that day with the extra. Okay, this is just an estimate. We're never going to get this exactly right, but it shows we're putting in some effort to navigate around this situation as well as we can. So then we've got the banking in action. Okay, so we can see here through the week, we've got our days of the week across the bottom. So Monday through till Sunday. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're pulling our calories back to 1,400 per day. So we're saving 200 calories every day of the week. Okay, and we can do this numerous ways by portion control, pulling back portion control, by cutting out some snacks, by even fasting in the morning, missing breakfast if we need to. Whatever it is you need to do to pull back 200 calories a day, we're going to do that. So you can see we've then added those calories to Saturday, giving us 2,600, and then Sunday we resume on our normal calories in our deficit of 1,600. So our total amount of calories for the week is still 11,200, the same as if we was to have 1,600 every day of the week. Okay, so that is calorie banking. It works great if we've got one social occasion in a week. We can do it for 2 social occasions, but it means we need to pull back even further in the week to allow for 2 days of extra calories. Okay, so that is calorie banking. Really simple, but it does require that we're organized and we're ready. Okay, the next strategy is something called a protein modified fast. Now, this is good for last minute occasions, and these crop up all the time. You know, occasionally maybe your partner will wake up on a Saturday morning and say, you know, do you want to go to the pub tonight, or do you want to go out for some food? This happens all the time. Okay, so you haven't got time to bank calories in the week. You haven't got time to prepare for it, and it's a very simple and effective method. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to fast in the morning. So instead of getting up and having your breakfast straight away, we're going to miss breakfast entirely. We're going to have our first meal meal between 11 and 1. So we're going to push our first meal back as late as we can. We're going to fill ourselves up with water and caffeine, okay, which will help us feel a little bit more fuller. And as it says there, stay hydrated, which will make you feel full. The more water we drink, the more full we'll feel, essentially. When we get to that 11 to 1 p.m. period, when we're ready to have something to eat, we're going to have a diet high, or we're going to make choices high in protein and vegetables, essentially. Okay. And the reason we do this is protein is something called satiate. It makes us satiated, essentially, which essentially means makes us feel full. Okay. So if we can have more protein, we're going to stay fuller. And also it's fairly low calorie. Vegetables as well, we can have as many vegetables as we want, very low calorie, so we can get some volume in there, so it feels like we've eaten a lot of food, but there's not very many calories. Okay, so you can see there's some examples on the screen there: whey protein, lean meats, yogurts, eggs, whatever you wish, essentially. But we're going to limit food to protein and vegetables, and we're going to eat only when we're hungry, and we're going to do this for the rest of the day. So maybe you have a small meal at, say, 12 o'clock, and you have another small meal at 3 or 4 o'clock, and then that's all you've had. And then you go out on the evening, you have your meal out, you have your few drinks, and then you're within your calories for the day, because we've been as careful as possible in the day on the lead up to the event. Okay, so that's called a protein modified fast, and that's great for events that just crop up. Okay. So, managing multiple occasions. Now, I'm not going to lie to you here. A lot of my marketing and advertising is that I can help people get great results and still socialize. And that is absolutely true. But there is a limit to this. If we're socializing just once per week, or going out for a drink once a week, or a meal once a week, then we can navigate around this with either of the two methods that I've talked you through in today's video. If those social occasions become 2, 3, 4 times a week on a regular basis, it's going to become more challenging. It's going to be very difficult to lose body fat. So if you're somebody that works away for like 4 nights a week and you make no attempt to navigate around this, it's going to make fat loss harder. If you're somebody that's very social, you socialize 2, 3 times a week, drinking 2, 3, 4 times a week, it's going to make fat loss very difficult. Not impossible. It will just be very slow progress, and you will need to make a lot of effort on the other days to make sure that you're pulling back calories where you can. Okay, so I'd say once a week is great. We can manage around that, no problem. Any more than that, then it starts to become harder, but not impossible. Okay, so you're going to plan ahead wherever possible, and you're going to use these strategies consistently. Okay, so action plan, essentially being organized and planning for upcoming events. When we don't know that they're coming up and they're kind of just put upon us, we're going to use the protein modified fast, and we're going to enjoy socializing whilst losing body fat. Remember, this is all about balance. Okay, we want to be able to enjoy ourselves. We don't want to have to say no to occasions, no to weddings, no to meals out, no to drinks, because we're on a diet. We want to be able to manage this into normal life. Okay, so hopefully that's useful. Hopefully it makes sense. If you've got any questions about it, if you want to run any numbers by me, or you want to just check that you understand the methods, then please feel free. Drop me a message on Instagram and I'll happily help you. Until then, I'll speak to you soon.